Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. What I'm going to talk to you about is the question about a housing bubble. So a lot of people every once in a while, especially when they see a strong real estate market, they ask the logical question, sorry, fix my shirt. Is there a housing bubble? Well, a housing bubble depends on two factors. It's really quite simple. It's supply and demand. Okay, but how do you really know where we're at in terms of supply and demand? And how do you really know that the housing market's going to stay strong and we're not going to lose home value based on supply and demand? Well, if you dig into it further, this is how you know. So on the demand side, you can monitor demand based on household formations. And household formations tell you what the demand's going to be. And a lot of people probably don't know this, but the median age for a first-time home buyer is 33 years old. And if you go back and you look at birth rates based on all the different years, and you go back to 87, 88, and then you look at the forecast, or not forecast, you look at the historical data for the years that are following 87, 88, going up from there. The next couple years, we have a huge increase in the birth rate, from 55 million Generation X to 66 million millennials. So we've had a big increase in the birth rate, which means that leads to a huge increase in household formations. So, there's 12 million more households than what we had back compared to 2007, for example. Okay, so that's the demand. Let's talk about the supply. The supply side, CEOs of new home builders say that we have 4.5 to 5 million units short on supply. And they say that there's no way you can catch up to that anytime soon. It's going to take years and years and years. So that's just the sheer volume. But the other way you can look at it as well is, again, going back to looking at birth rates and the age of the median first-time home buyer, and looking at what the birth rates were 33 years ago, and what they were. If you look in the next couple of years, you see that we have increased household formations. We talked about that. The other part of it, though, is the supply. Back in 2007, there were 116 million households. Now there's 128 million. So again, we've had a big increase in household formations. At the same time, in 2007, the peak of supply, there was 3.7 million units available. Well, now in 2020, there's 1.2. So you go from 3.7 million units available to 1.2 million units available, and 12 million more households. So the supply and the demand situation has never been more out of whack. So home values continuing to appreciate based on the demand for those homes and the supply of those homes is the reason why you should keep buying real estate, and we're not going to have a housing bubble here. The housing bubble that we had a long time ago in the financial crisis was based on overly aggressive lending practices as well, which we don't have these days, and we haven't had in a long, long time, and a different supply-demand situation. So for more questions or to get started, reach out to me and let's talk. It doesn't cost you anything to give me a call and talk about how we can help you in the future. Thank you.